I don't know. I haven't been very informative on reviews recently, so I'll be like really on screen now, on camera, on game. So what happens here? Well,
Pog, let's go, man.
Yike starts bot side. This is something G2 do.
Pog, let's go, man.
And they did a lot in winter and spring, which is kind of like a cause for concern, where Yike will either start bot side, or he'll start like on red side, he'll start top side and invade their blue buff. Man. And it leaves his bot lane in like this 2v2 isolation, which in range support matchups doesn't look like a worry. But in like eastern regions, even in range support matchups, they will dive bot. You can see like he doesn't want to give up his bot lane. But now he's kind of forced to give up bot lane because he doesn't have bot push and he can't invade here and doesn't have mid push either. So if he had pushes on lanes, then he could walk in here and actually stay bot side. But now he can't stay bot side. So now he puts himself in this awkward scenario where he wants to be bot, but he's not bot. And bot is hard trading, but he's got nothing to clear. So what ends up happening? Like, it's so easy for Razork. He just literally walks in, knows Maokai's not here, chunks out Hansama. Mickey X is no heal. They're like under threat of a dive. Then they have to run away from the tower. And then it's that simple. Yikes finishing Gromp. So G2, I've done this a few times actually. And I'm a bit worried going forwards if this is like a continuous trend. I think being topside for Cassante into Malphite is completely useless. It's just so useless. Like killing this Malphite does nothing. And your Cassante will never die. Like he won't. Then Razork runs mid. Same thing happens. I don't know if G2 lost track of jungle. But he just runs mid. Trades flashes with Ahri on purpose because she has no TP. Like this is the most important thing. Caps just TP'd back. How beautiful is that for Razork? Caps is half HP. He's 1 HP. TP's back mid. Razork goes. No TP on this guy. Loses half his HP. Well, more than half his HP. Loses all his HP. Almost dies. And now he loses a wave because they push out the wave. And yeah, Caps is now sitting in a lane with no potions. Half HP against the TP'd back Nico with a 10 CS lead. And then Razork goes back bot again. He hasn't based yet. It's just so annoying for G2. So they don't get anything here, I think. They just get Hansama Flash, which is already good. So now mid-bot side is doomed for G2. Like, look at that vision. Caps has to take a bad base. Humanoid's going to get a huge CS lead because of the freeze. So this game is already a bit annoying for G2. And the worst part is, like, Yike is not up in creeps and Maokai doesn't really, like, get anything for it, right? So if you take stock, overall, it's like 4 flashes per 3. So if you actually look on paper, it's not the worst. But it could have gone a lot worse because all of these were aggressive ganks by Fnatic rather than being defensive plays for flashes. So they could have gotten kills, perhaps. So G2's proactivity, not really there. Like, look at mid CS right now. Yeah, bot push, mid CS is good. Top is even. And he still has TP, Oscar. Like, Oscar still has TP in this matchup. So that's so good. So laning phase wasn't too big of a problem for Fnatic, I think.
How did Hans and Noah end up even before Trimby dies when Hans lost 2 waves under turret?
Actually, that's a very good question. What happened bot? You're right. They zone them off the wave. And then Noah takes a base there. Oh, he gets cancelled. That's actually kind of big. Yeah, that base right there on a ward. If Noah gets this base off, he comes back to lane. They can't fast push the cannon wave. Because Aphelios... Yeah, there's no way they fast push this cannon wave. He gets cancelled on the back. Then Lucian is getting... I think they're stacking a wave bot. Lucian's now under tower. He hasn't reset. So, like, he's still up in creeps. And then I think Lucian loses the wave for this play. Look. I think Lucian loses a lot of creeps for this. Look. They get Hansama Flash, but that wave's crashing. So by the time he comes back to it, he's lost like 6 or 7 minions, no? Then they have to fast push bot. No, they don't fast push bot. They don't have the mana for it. They just have to take this wave in base. And now the wave is slow pushing into Hans because they took the wave in base and the wave already like hit each other, right? So now they have a stacking wave, which is good. But they can't use it. Interesting, good question. Yeah, I didn't notice that. No, I got cancelled on his base. So their bot lane lead is kind of gone. Fnatic get the first Drake, which is good. Lanes are good. Mid is ahead. Bot is even. That base cancel did a lot. But then this happens. Like, Trimby just dies. He has no flash. Hansama has no flash. He has no heal. That's huge. Trimby dying 2v2. Also, Hans plays it kind of well. He, like, blue gun Qs. Swaps to red. And then he already has chakrams from the blue gun Q. I think. No, he doesn't. Anyway, he just walks up to him. What the fuck? Hansama is crazy. He just ghosts at him or what? With red Q. Melio W. So OP or what? Like, look how much damage that Melio W helped do. Okay, so... Not the end of the world. The Aphelios is ahead, but if you look at items, it's not too far ahead. Now, what you'll see happen here is the next 5 minutes of the game, everyone is mid. Everyone is contesting mid wave because Humanoid burns flash. What happens is there's a Herald fight and Razork fucks up his flash. Really big mistake by Razork. If he can flash over that Maokai ult and W, the Cassante, I think they can kill him. But he fucks it up. And then the worst part is they trade Nico flash for Maokai flash. So, like, he's flash ulting a Maokai here with no Malphite ult. Maokai just flashes over the wall. Then Razork tries to follow, which is super risky because K'Sante's right there. But luckily, K'Sante doesn't have ult. Otherwise, he's one shot. And then nothing happens. So they have no flash on mid. And Caps is down on creeps. So what you'll see happen is everyone's going to start going mid soon after this TP bot. Because they have TP mid ready for this bot play. But again, like, they just fuck it up again, Fnatic. The execution is just constant fuck up. Look at this Nam ult. This Nam ult was way too early. And it just misses them completely. If that Nam ult was a bit more on point, I think they kill Hans. And then Trimby flash bubbles, but he misses. Because he thinks he can flash bubble the stun target, but melee ults him. So now it's a horror. And then Humanoid E misses too. So now Caps being down 30 CS doesn't matter. Because Humanoid TP's bot. Caps pushes mid, gets 3 platings. Gets a Herald. Humanoid loses all these waves. And now all of a sudden mid is even again. And bot is still ahead. So like lane phase wise, Fnatic had some nice aggressive plays. But none of them really worked. Then we go to the fights. Humanoid just completely griefs this fight. Look at Humanoid at the top. He has both carries in front of him. Well, Mickey X and Caps. But he has no flash yet. I wonder if he thought he had flash up. And he just whiffs it on both. Mickey flashes it, so respectful by Mickey. Respect. But then he's dead. The thing is, they never really used Malphite and Nico together. Like, to be honest, if Nico is here... If not, I think Nico is better. Because Nico being around here means Malphite ult and Nico threat is so big that I think the fight's already over. Because Maokai is just gonna die. So they're not playing together at all, really. Like, Malphite still has ult. There we go. Now he Malphite ulted, but doesn't do anything.
Fnatic loses because...
So, they lost the first fight. Now, that's pretty big. Pretty big loss, because Aphelios is super fed now. And then that's just a constant... chain of events is they just keep losing fights. They have no side lane priority. Caps wins out on side lane. Here comes another Herald fight. Like, I feel like G2, what they do, like the way G2's comp works, is very simple. When you're playing Maokai comp, your Maokai ult makes it so enemy team always has to run back, okay? So when you're running forwards, you have to do as much damage as possible, so that when the Maokai ult hits and expires, you need to be able to run back. Either you're running back and you chunk them and you won the fight, or you get a kill. So what happens is Maokai ult comes out, and then it hits on this fucking Malphite. He gets Everfrost, knocked up, knocked back, knocked up, and dead. And he didn't even get his ult off. Then Humanoid gets a turbo ult here. 5-man ult. But what's their follow-up? It's just illusion culling. So Yike flashes out. Caps has ult up. And then they just chase him down. So, like, the Malphite Nico were never on the same page. I feel like Fnatic's baseline fundamentals this game were good. Their lane phase was good. But their teamfight coordination was trash. And their execution on ganks just had a lot of mistakes. So, like, to be honest, it's not the end of the world. To be honest, I don't think this game from Fnatic was that bad. Like, the way they threaten mid-waves is good. I always talk about this if you watch my stream. Like, the reason the West sucks at MSI is because their mid-wave control is garbage. And what both these teams did was pretty good, actually. This is very LPL LCK-esque. No joke, this is what you would see in an LPL LCK game. There's nothing to play for. Literally nothing. Other than mid tower. And you're fighting mid. Which sounds stupid, but the fact that you can fight mid means you can control the map. So, the way the game is played, I'll put it in normal speed. These next 2 minutes is exactly what an LPL LCK game looks like. Well, more so LPL. You know, fight mid, TP in, Maokai ult them. There's literally no objective, but you don't let them get mid-wave in. Like, you just fight it. And then G2 have, like, you see how I talked about the Maokai ult? Look, they use Maokai ult, they can run forwards, but they didn't chunk anyone. So now the Maokai ult's gone, they have to run away. Because if they don't run away now, Fnatic have a really good turn. So what you'll see happen is G2 get pushed back because they have no Maokai ult. You have to get a play off the Maokai ult. If you don't get a play off the Maokai ult, that's it. You have to run. So now you'll see what happens is midwave comes in again and we're fighting midwave again. This is great. This is really, really, really good. This is like necessary for both teams. It looks very Arami, but it's correct. And then you see how much G2 respect. Look, G2 have to run. They have no Maokai ult to turn on. And yeah, Fnatic get a mid tower. So yeah, their fundamentals are good. Actually, if you zoom into this game, Fnatic's fundamentals, good. Then they get re-engaged on. Razork's reaction time here was really good. And midwave's gone. And now we have to go catch sides. Fnatic tried to put up a fight. It's good. Fighting. They can't fight. They got Maokai flash and they get out.
Love you, XTD.
Then they fight again. So now I think they're doing too much because what Fnatic did was they overstayed, I think. When this tower dies, they need to get out. They need to catch this. But they didn't catch it. Look at that top wave. It's a horror. It's ideal if like Humanoid can just catch that with TP, or like, I don't know, Oscar can run there a bit earlier. They're question mark pinging it. You see that? And then it's like, fuck, we lost top wave. So their fundamentals was good. They just fucked up the side lane catch, and then I think they're good. Because now what happens is if you don't...
19 months, Pog.
What happens here... Let's watch top lane, yeah? This is important because you're bleeding about 500 or 600 gold. Look at that top wave. It dies, and now it's gonna bounce. So watch top wave. It's all gonna bounce. It's oh my god, what's up? It's pushing. I'm high. Wait, how long is it that they don't catch top wave? So Aphelios pushes it out at 20 minutes, and bot wave is also just chilling. And then out of the replay, I know this is probably jarring for you to watch. It's a dragon fight. Holy fuck. 3 minutes, no top wave. I'll go to the team fight in a sec. 5 minutes, no top wave. Now we're there. So 6 minutes-ish. Holy shit. That's what I like to see. Just group up and fight. So what happens in this fight? Top wave was pushing because the creeps are they stronger or something? What happened? Am I high? Minions are stronger. That's good. They can always catch it then. How many towers does Fnatic have? 1. 1 to 4? What happened in this fight? This fight, was this the Gale Force fight? No, it wasn't. Yeah, this fight was good by G2 because, again, like midwave, it's so good. Pushed him off midwave. It's the whole game. The whole game is midwave. I think Fnatic got the midwave out of this replay. But then they went into river, but then they didn't get the next midwave. And what you'll see teams do actually is... what LPL teams do is they like go like up here and then they catch the midwave here, you know? They just tank it. But it's a bit hard for Fnatic to do that because of these fucking Maokai sapling rats. He's actually playing first strike, demonic embrace fucking Maokai, so it actually does damage. And they lost dragon. And then they tried to get Nash, but the position, though they didn't. And G2 started Baron, which was kind of sus. I don't know why G2 is starting Baron here. But they want to fight, but it's all on Maokai ult. So Oscar goes in the pit and tries to leash to keep the Baron alive, so maybe they can finish it. But then, yeah, he has to ult out. And the second he ults out, the fight's over. But then Razork steals it. So, I don't know, sloppy. If Razork didn't steal that Baron, this game is over in 2-3 minutes. And then G2 didn't get Baron. Fnatic can get some towers, it's good. They get bot tier 1, nice. They die for it though. They overstayed a bit. Oscar can't TP because Caps is on top of him. And he's like half HP. And then they get chased down. But they still have Nash, so it's not the end of the world. They only had 3 Barons. Caps griefed this. But I even think, even though Caps into this fight, he does so much damage that, to be honest, Oscar gets a little bit excited maybe. Like, there's a world where Oscar runs away here and doesn't get hit by Malphite ult. A lot of people were like, why did Oscar walk up now? To be honest, if Oscar doesn't walk up, they're just going to finish Drake. And they're going to lose Soul anyway. So I think this fight is lost even though Caps is dead. They have to give. But Ocean Soul is not that bad to give. Ocean Soul doesn't mean you're going to win the game. And they try to end, but they can't because Oscar ults the wave, which is good. Or like he ults them in their face. There's one creep. Just fucking go. Kill that creep now. He ults the creep. You see that? You need to kill the creep or it's lost. Look. I mean, Aphelios is there, which is nice as well. So luckily he ults the creep as well. And they have no wave. And actually he survives here. Anyway, Razork then goes in and gets caught randomly. Watch Humanoid die. I don't think the casters or anyone realized Humanoid's death here. It's kind of funny. Aphelios tower and a sapling. He's dead. And the game's over. There was one fight the Fnatic won on a turn where Aphelios griefed it, but it didn't really matter. Yeah, my bad about that top wave. My brain was fried. It's too early in the morning. So I think, to be honest, not bad by Fnatic, I guess. Like, not that bad. Just their team fight sucked.